Okay, cool. Welcome back to the ravine. Welcome back to the ravine. I am so very happy to be here. I'm loving the sun right now. I'm loving the temperature right now. I have quite a lot that I want to talk about today, actually. Imagine you without any limitations from other people. Any type of limitations, any type of limiting belief that has ever been said to you, imagine if it was never said to you. Imagine if there was not a doubt in your mind of what you can achieve and what you can do and who you are. We spend a lot of time trying to find ourselves when in reality, who we actually are, like our true authentic self, is just who we are right now, but without any type of limitations or limiting beliefs from other people. The sun is kind of setting right now, but I'm gonna do my best to try to talk fast. We're always told to just be ourselves, but the thing is, how can you be your authentic self if you have all of these thoughts from other people taking up space in your mind? All those negative beliefs that you have of yourself, all of those limiting beliefs, all of those limits and all those thoughts and all of those narratives that you have of your life oftentimes are from other people, are from your parents, or from your friends, or from anyone around you. And this is when you can take control. This is when you can switch the story. This is when you can switch the story to what you actually want it to be, because the thing is, once you become conscious of this, once you become conscious of the fact that you've been absorbing thoughts since you were a kid, not a single thought has really been your own. You have always absorbed it from somewhere. And so when you become conscious of that, that's when you can start rewriting it. Like, okay, wait, just because so-and-so said this about me, just because so-and-so said this about themselves even, because a lot of the time we can see other people putting limits on themselves and then also adopt that as limits for ourselves as well, and that's actually just their limits. And just realize that those are just limits that we choose to follow. Like, I realized that when I was younger, I used to have like this really strong fear of just being accepted by other people and being included, I guess you could say, or just seen as accepted, yeah. And I used to get a lot of anxiety when I was in large groups of people, because it was just like, oh, what do these people think about me? What, I gotta make sure that I'm on their level or better, and just try to include myself in some sort of way. And one thing that I realized is that those beliefs were actually placed on me when I was a kid by other kids, because those kids experienced those types of things. I don't know where, but they did. And they may have projected that onto me to make me feel a certain way, because they were just projecting their own insecurities and their own fears that they have developed. And honestly, that's a natural thing. In this human experience, it is natural for us to gain these insecurities. It's natural for us to gain these fears, all types of insecurities, all types of limiting beliefs that you may have. That's completely natural, because all of it's really just there for us to evolve from that. If there was no insecurities, if there was no limiting beliefs, then there would be nothing to overcome. There would be no journey. There would be no point. There would be no point. And so honestly, even though I've went through things that I feel like honestly I didn't really have to, or I shouldn't have, or it just didn't feel good in the moment, ultimately those things are really just there so I can experience the good things, so I can experience the beauty of life, so I can experience the evolution, the growth that I have now gone through. And so through that, I'm able to share my experience and to help other people also grow, evolve, and elevate their lives. So when we realize that our limiting beliefs are not actually our own, what we can start doing is saying, actually, no. Actually, I choose not to believe that. Actually, I choose to believe XYZ. I choose to believe that I am beautiful. I choose to believe that I am a confident person. A lot of the time, for me, for example, I used to think that I was such a... I mean, I still am an introvert. But I mean, I used to think that I was such like a quiet, you know, kind of hard to talk to type of person. And me just believing that just made situations manifest into that experience. That exact experience that I had in my head is exactly what came forth into reality. Even sometimes in the past when I used to film videos, I would have all these thoughts in my head thinking, oh, like, am I saying this good enough? Am I doing this good enough? And all these limiting beliefs led me to not be able to record a video on the first go like I am doing right now. And so it's really funny. It's a funny thing. Life is a funny thing. When you become aware that you can change the narrative, and when you become aware that all these insecurities and thoughts are really just here for you to evolve from it, and it also does not source from you. Everything has been absorbed, but you can choose what to release. That's the word, release. And so, when an insecurity or when a certain thought pops up in your head, a certain limiting beliefs, tell yourself, actually, no. Actually, I choose to believe that I am a confident person. I actually am a confident person. I actually am a confident person. I don't know what that thought was saying, but I actually am a confident person. I actually am a good YouTuber. I actually am rich. You may be thinking, dang. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a new spot, cause like, that's why. If you were having broke thoughts, if you're having, I'm broke, I don't have enough money, start rewiring your brain. Start saying the opposite of whatever thought that you're believing. And it may feel fake at first. It may, honestly, I remember back in the day when I was like literally just beginning this mentality, it was kind of hard because, you know, you spend all these years believing a certain something, but once you start and once you keep on going and once you actually feel it, you gotta put emotion into it. You gotta convince yourself. Like, imagine if you were telling somebody else that you love that they are loved. Like, you're convincing them that they are loved. That's exactly what you gotta do to you, but with the thoughts that you have in your head. Okay guys, I'm editing right now. You eventually get to a point where you don't have to try. Your soul knows who you are. You don't have to try to convince yourself. It's a knowing thing, because everything that you think you could be, you are. It's just about stepping into that embodiment of that version of you. If you try to continuously try to convince yourself that you are something, convincing is the same energy as being not convinced. I'm not gonna lie. Because why would you have to try to convince yourself of something that you already are? And so that's what I'm trying to say. It's really a knowing thing. And these affirmations should be said out of knowing, not out of trying to convince. There were so many thoughts that were projected onto me that I literally started to believe them and started to be that. Like, people used to tell me that I was a forgetful person, which honestly I feel like was slightly true because of the food and chemicals that I was eating, which made me have brain fog, which I now also changed. I'm now alkaline vegan. I may make a video on that separately. It's just so crazy to me how we literally take so many things from other people and we absorb it and think, this is us. No. You are you the second you're born. You are you the second you are born. When we're kids, we're literally our authentic selves because we literally create everything from our imagination. And that's what happens in reality. We'll believe that our toys are alive and that's what they'll actually be. We'll believe that our stuffed animal is alive and it comes alive at night, and that's what we'll believe. And in a sense, that's what our reality is, because that's what we're perceiving through our mind, because everything's perceived through the mind. So technically, everything that you think, everything that goes on up in here is technically reality, because that's the only way that you're able to perceive everything. Anyways, sun is kind of going down now, but that's okay. It's still beautiful. Now you can see me a little bit better, maybe? You become aware, when you become conscious, that's when you start to get back into your childlike state, because now you are operating out of imagination. You're operating out of that pure state before you had any projections projected onto you. You are now deciding the story. Just like a kid will play with a toy deciding that, oh, I'm in the jungle, da 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 da. It's the same thing. Except this is the story now. Another way that you can actually connect with yourself is by asking yourself how you truly feel. Being real with yourself. Asking yourself, how do I actually feel about this? How do I actually feel about this situation? Without thinking, what are these other people gonna think about me? What about this thought that Jimmy said about my hair and blah blah blah? Do you like your hair? Do you want to be in that group of people? Do you even like what you're doing in life? It can get deep. It can get deep. And you really got to ask yourself these questions to truly unveil this true potential, the fullest potential that you can reach, because your fullest potential is only reached when you become your authentic self. When you embrace your authentic self. And your authentic self is just you already, without limiting beliefs. One of the things that I used to kind of get trapped in a lot on my self-improvement journey is that the thought that my thoughts create my reality led me to blame myself for everything that went wrong in my life. Little did I know that there's always going to be something. There's always going to be the next thing, but it's all up to me to decide whether or not that truly impacts me. And so one thing that I've been saying to myself is things are still going my way even when it doesn't seem like it. Especially when I don't feel like I'm feeling good. Especially when I don't feel good. Things are still going my way. It's still an amazing day. Your most powerful self is actually your childlike self. Because your childlike self is actually your authentic self. Because your childlike self is someone who didn't have any rules. Your childlike self is the person who stood on tables. The person who, stood on things, ate things that they didn't need to eat, said things that they shouldn't have said, or not that they shouldn't have, or that's not socially accepted. We were in so much control of ourselves, it was crazy. But now, we have all of these rules that we've made. Obviously, that comes with morals, right? Because we learn morals. But when it comes to expressing ourselves, we're taught to be quiet. We're taught to not show up. To not show up as our most brightest self. And that showing up as your brightest self is hard. Showing up as your brightest self is actually a hard thing to do. No, it's not. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's not. It's not, and you just gotta change the narrative. Just start telling yourself, like, actually, no, it's not. That's why in my last video I was saying how you make the rules. Once you choose to let go of those fears, once you choose to change the narrative and realize that you are in control of that narrative. You are in control of that narrative. You are in control of how your story goes. And that your most authentic, powerful self is your childlike self. One that created the rules, that actually had no rules. Reality will shift from something that you gotta suffer in into something that you get to play in. It's a game. It's literally just a game. I really hope that something in that resonated with you. I just wanted to come here to talk about just being your authentic self and how to actually be your authentic self. And it's a lot simpler than people make it out to be. People make it seem like it's so hard to be your authentic self. It's just a choice. It's just a choice. And it's just rewiring old programming. That's really it. That's really it. And we don't gotta make it this hard thing to overcome. Because if we constantly tell ourselves that something is hard to do, if we constantly tell ourselves that it's hard to achieve our highest good, our authentic selves, then that's exactly how it's going to be. It is going to be hard. It is going to be hard to be confident. It is going to be hard to achieve a certain state of your being. Nah, switching the thought. That's literally all it starts with. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate this time together, and I really hope that you have a wonderful day or night. Yo, I just seen a whole otter. It's climbing up in a tree right now. Yo, that's crazy. I didn't know otters can climb trees, nor that they did climb trees. I don't even know if that's an otter. I don't know.